A station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Straight ahead on DC News Now at 9, why the watchdog agency keeping an eye on Metro is worried tonight, what changes they're calling for. Plus, on this holiday weekend, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy is being celebrated all across the DMV. We'll have a closer look at those tributes. And if Frederick College gets a big boost in funding as they look ahead to the future where that money will be spent. But first, here's meteorologist Scott Sumner.
All right, Annalisa, it's still cold out there, but at least there's a lot less wind to speak of, which makes it feel just a little bit better. Speaking of feeling better, we're going to warm up. We'll talk about how warm coming up in just a few.
All right, thanks, Scott. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Annalisa Gale. Well, developing now, the agency closely watching Metro's safety practices as new concerns. And tonight, Metro's board held an emergency meeting behind closed doors with safety and security matters on the agenda. Our Daniel Hamburg joins us live now in the newsroom with a look at what to expect in talks this week. Hey, Daniel.
Annalisa, the board just met on Thursday for its regularly scheduled meeting, and this week the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission sent Metro a letter saying it wasn't following its own plan. The Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission says Metro isn't following safety requirements they've outlined, and they're missing deadlines for corrective actions.
When there are basic safety commitments made, we expect Metro to stick to those basic safety commitments.
WMSC spokesperson Max Smith says the latest issue is a lack of training for train operators. The WMSC says, according to records, the operator who ran a red light last month on December 6th only completed 9 minutes of the 8 hours of required yard practical training.
When boarding, move to the center of the car.
Then on December 31st, the WMSC says another operator who stopped a train beyond the platform told them he didn't get the proper practical training.
When Metro Rail commits to doing something, we follow up, and if they're not continuing to do something, we will, act, and that's what we're doing in this case.
Metro did announce Friday it would be enhancing rail operator training following its own internal investigation into the December 6th incident, adding that 64 operators from recent training classes did not follow the proper training sequence and will be given supplemental simulator training.
Metro does not have enough train operators to operate its schedules safely. And so that is part of an issue that they operationally are dealing with.
Now, this afternoon's executive session with Metro's board was closed to the public, so we don't know exactly what was discussed. I've reached out to Metro for more comment, but have not heard back. In his studio, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, thanks, Daniel. And we have an update out of Fairfax County now, where a car was stolen with a 5-year-old girl inside earlier tonight. Fairfax County police say they have now found that child and are now working to reunite her with her family. Police say they are still looking for the stolen car, a green 2012 Honda Accord with dents to the front and back. And D.C. police are now investigating a double shooting in southeast Washington. It happened in the 3200 block of 15th Place just before 1 a.m. That's where they found 2 men who were shot. One of the victims is expected to be okay, but the other died at the scene. He has been identified as 34-year-old Renando Griffin. So far, no arrests have been made. And right now, Prince George's County Police are investigating a homicide in the 9500 block of Mui Kirk Road in Laurel. So far, though, no arrests have been made here. It's not far from 2 apartment complexes. It was reported on Saturday around 9:30 p.m. following a call for a welfare check. Once police got there, they found a woman dead. Police say she was suffering from some kind of trauma. Her exact cause of death, though, is unclear tonight. Developing now, just days after a special counsel was appointed to investigate President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents, 5 additional pages were found in his Delaware home. That's in addition to those already found in his garage and in his former office here in the district. News Nation's Joe Khalil is on the Hill with the latest.
5 more classified documents. That's what White House counsel Richard Sauber now says were found inside President Biden's personal library in his Delaware home. Before today, the White House only acknowledged 1 paper marked classified in the Biden library. The development fueling more questions and calls from Republicans to investigate.
We want to know what type of documents there are, who had access to the documents.
Congressman Jim Comer leads the powerful House Oversight Committee in charge of investigations. He claims there's a double standard worth looking into in the way government agencies are responding to Biden versus Trump.
There have been countless examples of presidents and vice presidents who have accidentally taken documents that were deemed classified with them, but the National Archives made a huge deal out of the Trump situation.
Comer says one of his major concerns is President Biden's son Hunter, who listed the home as his address on a number of personal disclosures. Comer believes that could have compromised national security.
Good afternoon, everybody.
The White House, though, pushing back, arguing there is no double standard.
When they were discovered, and this is the right thing to do, right? His lawyers reached out immediately to the archivists. They reached out to the Department of Justice.
Now the DOJ's special counsel is looking into the document story, a move even House Democrats support. Democrat Jamie Raskin on House Oversight says, quote, handling of classified information is obviously a serious matter, and national security demands that such cases be thoroughly investigated.
Again, that was Joe Khalil there. Well, tonight, a new proposal in Montgomery County could mean tax relief for people who live there. If passed, the proposal would allow Maryland's largest county to cut taxes for families with low and moderate incomes.
It puts money in their pockets, as I mentioned, increases their spending power. People who need to buy goods and services are going to spend that, and that's going to come back into our economy and help them have some relief so they can pursue other economic opportunities.
Frederick and Anne Arundel counties already have similar measures in place. Well, looking ahead, tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the DMV. There are many ways to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. Our Jimmy Alexander is on the National Mall now with how some plan to celebrate.
Some march in the MLK parade, like Martin Luther King III did in 2020. How much does it mean to your family to be here for a day like today?
First of all, I think the most important thing is that people continue to come together.
Thank you and God bless you, Washington, D.C.
And friends and families gather here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial.
Obviously, it's a perfect weekend to celebrate Dr. King's legacy. He stood up for people, not just himself and not just his family, but he stood up for people.
He said he had a dream, and he marched on Washington, and he talked about a dream. And I won't say it's completely fulfilled, but it's a long way towards the future that he dreamed of, where people can be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin.
Another popular spot will be here at the Lincoln Memorial, where people will want to stand in the exact same spot where Dr. King delivered his famous speech. Each year, new generations of children learn about Dr. King in classrooms all across the country, like these high school seniors in Prince George's County, Crossland High School.
He really speaks to me just because, I'm a little black girl, so it's like, dang, that's how it was. Like, I wasn't able to have a white friend or go to the same water fountain as a white girl.
I feel like his message still sticks because we recognize what happened and what we did wrong and what we need to fix as a whole, instead of him just talking to one person in one race. He's speaking to all of us.
Dr. King, he's inspiration. To stand up for what you believe in. I think, especially at a time when nobody wanted to see you do that, I think it's very inspirational.
With him, I feel like he stood for something that was truly great. Because I feel like everything that he was trying to do, a good bit of it has come to fruition.
Dr. King, he wanted us to be together. He wanted us to be equal too, but he really wanted for us to come together and be united.
Like how he loved his children so much at the time that he could stand in front of all of those people and talk about how he wants a better future for them.
Today, 2023, more focused on being together, being one, instead of being separated just because of your color.
Dr. King's speech, it changed the world.
let's take a look at what we have outside our window. We do have clear skies right now. There are some clouds off to the west and clouds off to the east. You can vividly see a storm system. The one that was closer to our coast yesterday was right here, that was producing a lot of that wind. Well, because it's moved further away, we're seeing less of that wind this evening. And you can see beautiful downtown Annapolis here. We're looking great in and around the harbor area. Still have some Christmas lights going on there, lit up. Pretty nice, some of those boats. It's a beautiful evening out there, although it is cold, as you see by the numbers right now. We're sitting at 40 in Annapolis, 38 at D.C., 35 at Manassas, 34 at Leesburg, the freezing mark at Winchester, below the freezing mark. Look, already down into the 20s here at Luray and Woodstock, Kaiser, and Cumberland. All right, so if you're planning your evening ahead here, just say you have to run out to the store for whatever reason, grab some milk or who knows, at a Wawa or something. Well, this is what you've got here. You got temperatures, bundle up, even though it may be a short trip outside. It's pretty darn chilly and will continue to be that way in D.C. And how about the lows overall? Well, they'll be bottoming out here in the 20s everywhere, including the district, including the coastal areas, where Annapolis is expected low to drop down to about 29 degrees. We'll talk about, though, a warm-up in store for us and when that's going to take shape coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Scott. Well, still to come here on DC News Now at 9. History lessons have a new twist in one New York classroom, how one program is taking students inside Dr. King's speech. And later, a look ahead to the Maryland State House as incoming Governor Wes Moore and members of his team are sworn in soon. Stay with us.